Hey everyone, Dan Cassetta here. I'm in the San Jose office of Vector Marketing Corporation, and I'm really excited about our 17th annual Vector Marketing Corporation March Madness Maniacs NCAA basketball pool. I'm sitting here, by the way, and this is a silver cup that I have right here, which is symbolic of winning, of being number one. Yes, there's a bunch of other ones out there in the main room. And winning is something that most of you will never experience here in our NCAA pool. Most of you are here purely for the entertainment value and to provide your donation, which is $40 this year, by the way. And I'm really excited about that. Guys like Jeff Bry contributing his $40 year after year. Guys like Larry Manley chipping in $40. John Kane, thank you for your donation. Chris Valentino, the man that gets beat by his wife every year in this tournament. Evan Price, you suck. Brad Britton, no chance whatsoever. Thank you to all of you guys for providing your donation year in and year out. I do want to congratulate the previous winners and recognize the previous winners of the pool. Going all the way back to 1994, the first year of our pool, Scott Dennis was the champion of the pool. Darren King took things down in 1995. Earl Kelly won the pool in 96. Mitch Leger in 97. And Bruce Goodman in 1998. The one and only time that Bruce has made money in this pool, and you got to go all the way back 12 years to find it. Jeff Nixon won in 99. And by the way, I tied Jeff Nixon that year for number one in the points, but Jeff Nixon won the tiebreaker because he got the correct champion and I didn't. That's how far ahead I was going into the last game, but Nixon took it down that year. Chris Heigl won in 2000. Nice job, Chris. Chris Cooper in 2001. Our 2002 pool was won by a guy named Brian Frank Husband. I don't even know who that guy is. Anyway, he won in 2002. Mike Schmid won the pool in 2003, proving that miracles can happen. That was the year Syracuse rode Carmelo Anthony to the NCAA championship, and Schmitty remarkably won, only because nobody had Syracuse or Kansas going that far that year. 2004 began a 5-year stretch of chicks winning the pool 4 out of 5 years, with Rebecca Flowers taking it down in 2004. Jill Downing followed that up in 2005, and then Rebecca Flowers again in 2006 won the pool, becoming the first 2-time champion of the pool, proving you can win the pool without watching a single NCAA game all year and by picking based on mascots and team colors. Harold Williams won in 2007, Kathleen Woods in 2008. And yes, Kathleen, that was before ESPN changed its scoring structure to the ridiculous system they had last year. So you did win by excelling throughout the entire tournament, not just getting the winner. Congratulations. Last year, by the way, Chris Heigl had the best showing of anyone has ever had in our pool, having one of the top brackets in all of ESPN.com. Just an amazing showing, getting both the UNC and Michigan State in the final game and picking UNC to win. So nice job, Chris. I do have some commentary on this year's bracket. We got the brackets right here, and I have some things to say, and I'm going to tell you some things that aren't going to happen and some things that are going to happen. First of all, Kansas, the Jayhawks, the overall number 1 seed. You got to love the Jayhawks this year. They're looking very good. Why is Villanova not in their bracket? That's what I want to know right now. Kansas is the overall number 1. There were 7 elite teams. It was pretty clear who the 1s and 2s were going to be. There was one team that was going to squeeze in and get the last number 2. It was Villanova. They should be in the same bracket with the overall number 1 seed. How can the committee not get that right? It is ridiculous. How does Kansas get stuck with Ohio State in their bracket? Kentucky is the overall number 2, and they get stuck with West Virginia in their bracket. The team that most people look at as being the best number 2 seed is in Kentucky's bracket. That sucks. Duke, meanwhile, gets picked over Syracuse for the third number 1, so Syracuse has to go out west. Duke does not, and Duke's whole bracket is a joke. They have the worst number 2 seed in their bracket, Villanova. They have the worst number 3 seed in their bracket, Baylor. I love the Bears. They've had a great season, but they're not even ranked in the top 20, and they get a 3 seed in Duke's bracket. They have the worst number 4, arguably. It really is the best number 4, Purdue, but Purdue lost their best player and is playing without him in the tournament, so, it's kind of questionable that they should be a 4 seed, and Purdue has the worst number 5 seed as well. Look at the 5s. You got Michigan State in Kansas's bracket. You got Butler in Syracuse bracket. Butler's won 20 games in a row. You got Temple in Kentucky's bracket, who won the A-10 regular season and tournament title and is still somehow all the way down as a 5 seed. And then Texas A&M paired with Duke. Just ridiculous. Definitely looks like Dick Vitale set up the brackets. Kansas's bracket, meanwhile, is loaded. You got Ohio State with the best player in the country. You got Georgetown, one of only 2 schools that have beaten 2 of the #1 seeds this year. You have Maryland. You have Michigan State with Tom Izzo. You got Tennessee, who's also beaten 2 of the #1 seeds in the tournament this year. Oklahoma State with one of the best players in the country, and Georgia Tech with multiple NBA players on the roster. And they're all in the same bracket with Kansas. That sucks. I want to tell you a few things that I know are going to happen and a few things that aren't going to happen. First of all, here's what's not going to happen. Small conference schools making the Sweet 16. That is not going to happen this year. People are picking San Diego State to win a couple games. People think BYU might take out K-State. Butler is obviously a good team. Gonzaga, Old Dominion, people think is going to win some games. Utah State, who shouldn't even be in the tournament, people are picking to win 2 games. Cornell, joke. None of those teams are going to win 2 games. There's going to be one small conference school in the Sweet 16. And here's the only reason why. If you look at one of the pods, you got UTEP, Butler, Murray State, and Vanderbilt. Somebody's got to win right there, and it's not going to be the Commodores. Sorry, Bruce, I know you went there. Vanderbilt sucks. They are not a strong team, and they're not going to win 2 games. It's going to be one of the other 3. So one of those teams makes your Sweet 16. I'm going to go with UTEP in that pod to come out and make the Sweet 16. Other than that, it's going to be all teams from the major conferences in the Sweet 16. I'll tell you what else is not going to happen. Cornell is a fashionable pick to win a game or 2 games in this tournament. I think Jay Billis has Cornell in his Elite 8. That is a joke. Here's one big problem with Cornell. Temple. Temple is playing Cornell in the first round, and they're going to take down Cornell easily in that first round matchup. Another thing that's not going to happen, Kentucky will not win it all. I'm sorry, any of you that pick Kentucky to win the pool, please make sure your $40 is in the mail because you are not winning. All right, Kentucky's got a great team and a great roster, but they are not going to advance all the way to the championship and win. Their bracket is difficult. They're going to have Texas in the second round. That team was #1 in the nation earlier this year. They got Wisconsin after that. That might be Kentucky's exit, and if they get by Wisconsin, West Virginia is looming, and Kentucky will be out. Here's what will happen. Let me tell you my Elite 8. In the Midwest, you got to like Kansas, of course, to make the Elite 8. Ohio State and Georgetown is going to be a great game. I like the Buckeyes. They got Evan Turner. They're coming out of there with the Jayhawks advancing into the Final Four. In the West, Syracuse looks like they have a pretty easy road in the top half of the bracket. Bottom half of the bracket, Pitt K-State game looms, and that's going to be a great game. I like K-State. You know, they lost 3 tough games to Kansas, but I'm taking Pitt to advance to the Elite 8 and Syracuse to advance out of that bracket into the Final Four. In the East, Kentucky and West Virginia, that game will probably end up happening. I'm going with the Mountaineers to advance. I got one reservation about the Mountaineers this year, and that is Bob Huggins. I'll tell you what, he was the coach of Cincinnati for a while, and he was notorious for one thing: early exits, underachieving. That happened year in and year out for Cincinnati. But I'm going to go with West Virginia to take down Kentucky and advance to the Final Four. In the South, who is going to beat Duke in the top half of that bracket? Everyone sucks in the top half of that bracket. Duke's going to come out for sure to the Elite 8. Bottom half, you got Baylor-Villanova game looming. Villanova made the Final Four last year with mostly of the same team, but they went 2-5 the last 7 games after starting 22-2. I just don't know which Villanova team is going to show up this tournament. If they can get by Baylor, they can get by Duke as well. But I'm going to take Baylor against Duke to beat Villanova and play Duke, and then reluctantly I'm going to pick Duke to come out of that bracket, although that pick stinks. I can't stand it, but I'm just going to go with the most logical pick right there. So you got Kansas, Syracuse, Duke, West Virginia. I'm taking Kansas versus West Virginia in the championship game. Who's going to win? Come on, people. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk, baby. We all know the Jayhawks are coming out, and they're going to win the championship this year. So I'll tell you what, I'll be back at you Friday night with a first round update. If we have enough entries into the pool, we will have a payout for the winner at the end of the first weekend after Sunday's games. And I'll get some updates to you after each round of the tournament so you know exactly what's going on, who's winning, who's sucking, and just having some fun with some smack talk here as the tournament goes along. So please send your $40. Glad everybody's in. Talk to you guys all soon.